All right, away we go. It is another nightcap right here on BearcatJournal.com, brought to you, as always, by our good friends at Galactic Fried Chicken. Visit www.galacticfriedchicken.com. That's where you can get the app, Android, iPhone, everything Galactic. You know the deal now. Go get Galactic. Come on. What are we waiting on? What's the delay? If you haven't been there yet, you're doing it wrong. No Aaron Smith tonight, so sorry for this. Holy cow, that's like I don't think anybody wants this, but I don't have anything else to give you right now since I'm flying solo. So not a long show tonight, but you guys expect me to be here every night or at least 6 nights a week. So I'm here. I've been working the phones today quite a bit. The season is over, or at least the regular season conference tournament season is over. Cincinnati's not going to the NCAA tournament. Does not look like they're going to the NIT. That would kind of be a surprise at this point. My guess is that this team isn't going to play in the CBI or the CIT or whatever. What I'm saying is I think this is it. I think Cincinnati's 2021 2022 season is complete. So that means a move to the off season. In talking to some people today, I think I wanted to get this out there more than anything. It's one of the reasons I'm going to go ahead and do a show tonight instead of just doing a day off. It's spring break. So essentially, when these guys got done with the AAC tournament, everybody scattered and went their own separate ways. So there's still a lot of conversations to be had, a lot of work to be done on this roster for the basketball program. It's just not going to be right away because nobody's on campus. So I think that is that's something I just want people to know. Like people normally, if it wasn't spring break, a lot of the meetings between the staff and the players would be happening Monday, Tuesday. But because everybody's gone, everybody's scattered, that's probably going to be another week before it happens. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying for the fact that the coaches aren't going to be working, and because of spring break, they're taking time off. That's absolutely not the case. They're going to be monitoring the transfer portal. They're going to be devising a plan, figuring out what is next for year 2 of the Wes Miller era, because I think we are officially at this point able to turn the page, unless, like I said, unless something crazy happens with the NIT. I just think we're at the end. Do I know what those moves are? Do I know what those conversations are? Like, sure, I have some of my personal thoughts, some of my own ideas as to what I think they will be, but it's irresponsible to start putting that stuff out in public until those conversations happen. We talked about it a little bit last night with Berg on last night's live nightcap. If you haven't caught that, I would highly recommend doing that as quickly as possible, because there's a lot of good stuff in there. It's nothing insider. It's just Berg and I talking basketball, and I think there's a lot of good stuff that people will enjoy. But when it comes down to it, there's nothing that has been decided yet. Like I said, those conversations probably delayed until Monday or Tuesday of next week, when everybody gets back to campus, and then we'll start to get a clearer picture of where things are at. As I said last night, I think this team ultimately, if you're doing an assessment of this team, and you're doing it from the lens of where were they at their best positionally, where were they at their worst, where do they need to improve going forward. I think they got what they wanted out of the two. David DeJulius was their leading scorer. He played we didn't talk about this a lot, but I thought David had a really good season defensively as well. You didn't see many two guards going off and putting up a bunch of points on Cincinnati. The three, I think, with John Newman, you're very happy with what you got from John Newman. And I think with him coming back as a leader of kind of that wing group, which will include coming in Daniel Skillings and Josh Reed. And when you look at the wing, I kind of look at it as like 2-3-4. The way that college basketball is played now, unless you're going to play two bigs, the bigs would be with the other bigs, obviously. But I think you've got your leader. I think John had a year that was tough. He battled through some injuries, but I think he's going to be kind of the guy that bridges the gap for year one and year two of the Wes Miller era into the future of the Wes Miller era. And I think from the conversations I've had, everybody is very happy with that fact. I think you were happy with, if you're the staff, what you got from Abdul Ado. I'm going to miss doing that going forward. But he's gone. I think while point guard and power forward or stretch forward, whatever you want to call it now, well, I think they were okay. I think those are the two positions that if this team's going to take a step and go from middle of the conference to top part of the conference and a chance to be battling for an NCAA tournament berth or an NIT berth at this time next year, as we are on, Saturday of championship week. I think you have to get better at point guard, and you have to get at least deeper at the four. And what does that mean? I don't think we know yet specifically, but what did we talk about last night with Berg? You can't have a backcourt with two guys under 6 foot. Now, what we don't know is David DeJulius. Like, that's kind of the unknown in this process right now. We don't know what the decision for David DeJulius is going to be. Does he want to play another year of college? Is he ready to move on and play professional basketball? Is he ready to move on with his life? Dave's an interesting kid. He's a deep kid. He's layered. There's a lot of nuance to him. It's not just as simple as does he want to go make money playing basketball? It's does he want to play basketball anymore? Does he want to play? Does he want to spend another year in college? I think this season he had a great experience, and I think you could tell with how emotional he was at the end of the game on Friday that this meant a lot to him, that this team meant a lot to him, that his teammates meant a lot to him. So maybe that does compel him to come back. But I don't know, because to my knowledge, from everybody I've talked to, none of those decisions have even been really talked about. Now maybe Dave has had those discussions internally with himself, and he knows, but he hasn't shared it with anyone. If Dave's back, you've got to get longer at the one, and you have to get more athletic at the four. Rebounding was a problem. Defending the four was a problem. Go look. Fabian White being, top of the line of guys that created problems for Cincinnati. But any team that had a competent four in this league gave Cincinnati problems. Because right now, at least at this point in his career, Jeremiah Davenport has work to do defensively. He's been a fantastic spark offensively, but Wes is a defensive coach. So when you have a coach that wants to emphasize defense, and you have a guy that, even though he's trying hard, even though he's listening to coaching, he's doing everything humanly possible, he's just not physically able. Like Vance Jackson. You saw what Vance Jackson did to UC this year. Again, Fabian White. You saw what Fabian White did to UC this year. Tulsa. The name escapes me, but he was there for 100, played basketball for 100 years. You get my point. You have to get better at the 1 and the 4. And you have to bring in somebody at the 5. Like those are things that are clear. I think when you look at this roster and what does it need to do to take a step from year 1 of Wes Miller to year 2 of Wes Miller. The conversations about how many spots are going to be open are wide ranging. I can tell you that right now. There's people that want it to be 5 or 6. There's people that think 2 or 3. It can be done. I would say the people thinking 2 or 3 or 4 are thinking if we can get this right, we can do this with a smaller number of people and get it done the right way. The people that are thinking a larger number are thinking the more swings you take, the more hits you're going to get. Well, you also in that scenario could be losing a couple hits that are on your roster that just need developed. Expect it to be somewhere in the middle. Between 2 and 4. If I had to guess, I would say 3, as I said last night, point guard, wing, big man that can protect the rim and give you some offense and give you the ability to put the ball in the basket, somebody you can throw the ball to when your offense needs it and get a bucket, somebody that keeps you from shooting 44% from 2 like they did in conference play. So those are kind of the offseason notes on day 1, where we're at. How that plays out, we're probably a week from finding out. It's spring break. There's not going to be a lot going on campus this week. I know a lot of the football guys. Remember, they had the Cotton Bowl. They had a tiny window to decompress, then right into winter workouts with Brady, and then right into the first week of spring practice, 4 days. This is kind of like downtime for them because they'll come back, they'll finish spring practice, then they'll get into the next set of workouts, then they'll get into the summer, and go right back into getting ready for camp. So it's a week for a lot of the guys on both teams to get away, and that's important. You need it. Trust me. My vacation's not until late June. I could use it tomorrow. I'm tempted right now to schedule a long weekend vacation this weekend, just because sometimes you need a break. But that's kind of where we're at. Hopefully Aaron will be back. We'll probably take tomorrow off on Sunday, and then be back on Monday with the BBP and another nightcap, and get back into our regular content schedule. So thanks to our friends at Galactic Fried Chicken, as always, and we will see you next time. Oh, there we go. It's the nightcap, brought to you by Bearcat Journal. See you.